to the after show of the ultimate Doctor Who watch party. Now, this is what us Whovians live for, the chance to talk about a new Doctor Who episode. And this time round, everything is new. If you missed the premiere episode and you want to avoid all spoilers, please stop watching. Go and watch the episode and then come straight back here. We have a lot to talk about, but not much time to do it. So joining me to break down what we just saw is actress, host, and the queen of nerds, Alison Haislip. Hey there, Alison.
Hi, the queen. I feel like, yes, you're welcome. I'm here.
Now, you're a huge Whovian.
I am. I started watching, gosh, back in like 2009, 2010 with Chris Eccleston. You can't quit me now. I'm here. I'm stuck. I'm in it.
It was great to have you. Yeah. Next, we've got Traven Free, who says he's watched every single episode of Doctor Who at least twice. He's won 2 Emmys for his writing on The Daily Show and Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. And now he writes for Black Monday on Showtime. Hey, Traven.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. To every episode twice. What is it about this show that keeps bringing you back?
I love how a lot of the episodes have just great messages. There's like really, they're fun. The doctors are all really fun to watch.
Can't wait to talk about this episode with you. And last but certainly not least, we've got Dr. Jana Levin, a professor of physics and astronomy at Barnard College of Columbia University. She is literally a female doctor as well. Woohoo! But like, you have the degrees to prove it. Jana is representing those of you who maybe haven't seen Doctor Who before until now.
I don't know how I missed it. Where have I been?
This is your jam.
It's
this
really,
is your world.
I'm really excited, but I always remembered the TARDIS just from standard lore. But I never saw an episode.
Oh, what a disappointing episode to watch then, because there's no TARDIS.
Black holes are like a TARDIS. They're smaller on the outside than they are on the inside. Hey. I use that reference all the time.
So, all right, we have to talk about this episode. What were your standout moments? Alison, starting with you.
Oh, well, I mean, clearly right at the end when she reveals her outfit, I was like, that's my Halloween costume right there, done. But also the moment where she says that she doesn't trust anything that's labeled in initials. Oh, man. That to me was like the first prime, there's the doctor moment, and Jodie Whittaker is totally the doctor right there.
Those are both of my moments.
Oh, really?
Oh, sorry, I stole them.
No, I mean, we just watched a great episode.
You're Whovian, so like you sharing. I think for me it was the chain. When the creature comes down the chain, I just thought that was spectacular.
Right.
And when she falls through the roof, her first appearance.
I would add to that the moment when she says, "I'm the doctor," when she finally gets it out. She's trying to find it throughout the whole episode, and then she finally, up in the sky on the top of the crane, like tight shot on the face.
I forgot how good regeneration episodes are, because we don't get them very often, and you forget that for that first episode, the doctor's always a little like, whoop, not quite solid, not quite grounded.
A little wibbly wobbly, trying to figure it out.
Why do you think that the costume is so important, and do you like how they handled it? The reveal.
I mean, I do love the fact that they made it very female in the way that she was in a dressing room and trying on a bunch of clothes, which I don't think we've seen any of the other doctors do. They just sort of like find their wardrobe somehow. Yeah, steal it off a clothesline or however they do it.
I might need to borrow some of this identity. I don't know. I could start calling myself the doctor and wear a coat.
And it
could have a big influence on my life.
You're going to have to get a sonic screwdriver then.
I'll make it myself in the lab, in the physics lab.
That was another great moment, her making her own screwdriver, which I thought was so incredible, because I don't believe we've seen that before. We've seen them fix them, but I don't think we've ever actually seen a doctor make one from scratch somehow.
Let's talk about these monsters. We've got brand new monsters as well. Very, very different. Did you, maybe at the first reveal, before Tim Shaw starts getting up, were you like, is that a Cyberman?
They were, it was that same
Very bulky,
size, but I was like, if this was a Cyberman, this is some new
modern version of the
generation of it.
It was very, very strange. And then the reveal of the teeth in the face was just one of the creepiest, grossest things I've ever seen.
It was pretty spectacularly gross.
I was genuinely curious as to
who thought of that? I was like, which writer on the road?
Yeah, like teeth face, like monster.
I thought that when they first revealed that the tooth has been taken from the guy that he killed, my first thought was like, oh, that's like a trophy. Like a lot of in ancient cultures would keep teeth to be like, these are the people I've conquered. But I was shocked when that was actually what it was.
The mask reveal was so slow that I thought maybe he was going to reveal he just needed like 2 more teeth to complete his...
That's what I always thought. I thought for sure he was going I have like.
He's like, I just need one more tooth. But it was like, no, he's got all of his teeth and then everyone else's teeth all over his face.
Well, it sounds like we've got a whole lot more to talk about, and we will get back to it right after this.
I've actually heard that theory about octopus. Because there's something about octopus DNA that like has something that no other biological life form on this planet has, and they're like, maybe octopus actually are aliens.
And they're just here doing their thing.
We should go talk to them to find the doctor.
Welcome back to the ultimate Doctor Who watch party after show, where I've been joined by some of our party guests to talk new Who. Now, if you don't want to hear spoilers, get out of here, because we've got so many coming at you. We are breaking down this episode. A lot of the time with Doctor Who, you'll have this moment which is absolutely frightening, and then straight away it goes to funny. Did that feel like Doctor Who to you?
Absolutely. 3 sentences into Jodie Whittaker, I was like, yep, she's a doctor. I'm in.
Were all the doctors very different?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I mean, not as different as a woman, but yes, their personalities have been very different.
That's actually what I really liked about the secondary characters, or the friends. They all had like a really pivotal thing to bring to the table. Did you like the balance there?
It was really refreshing to see Doctor Who with a bunch of brown people and women. Like, that's just like, that was like, if you've watched the show at all, that's such a new thing to see that much of what or not America, but like the world looks like now in a show that so many people love and so many people can now recognize themselves, and like women finally get the chance to have this character exist for them, and little girls can watch a doctor and actually like identify with it, and like people like me who love the show are like looking at Tossin and looking at like his family and going like, this is amazing to see people who look like us in a world that we love so much.
I want to talk about the actual science behind science fiction. How was it with all the jargon and the technology and the science behind it? I want to get your...
I mean, it's very much science fantasy, so I don't think it has any obligation for accuracy in what it portrays. I mean, it's so far in the future, being able to change the DNA with a DNA bomb, but it's not that remarkably far in the future. We do actually have little toolkits you can buy in the mail to edit the human genome. I mean, it is something that we can project about, conjecture about, fantasize about, but it's not really beholden yet to the science that we have now.
Jenna, I just want to know, when can we build a sonic screwdriver?
Yeah, I'll get working on it when I get back to the lab.
If I had a companion, I would want you to be on my squad. She would come in handy.
I'd probably do better getting us closer to the TARDIS than floating in empty space.
There we go.
That's a challenge.
I would freak out and panic. So a line that really stood out to me was Graham, actually most of what Graham said, because I feel like he's most of our inner dialogue, where it's like, I don't believe it, no, that doesn't sound smart, running into danger. But he also said to our doctor, you don't look like an alien. I kind of want to talk about that with you guys. What is an alien supposed to look like? Because we've seen Tim Shaw with teeth in his face, but then you've got someone like a Jodie lookalike.
I think it's kind of whatever you want an alien to be, because you look at the man with the teeth and Tim Shaw with the teeth in his face, and he looks disgusting. But then you look at Jodie, and she's like a beautiful woman who's also an alien with 2 hearts. So I feel like it's kind of like what you were saying about science fantasy, where it can kind of exist in any kind of form you can imagine.
I also thought it was a bit like, don't judge a book by its cover. You know, it's like clearly Graham, in his mind, it's like, if I'm going to see an alien, I'm going to be terrified and scared of it, but I'm not terrified and scared of you. And she's like, well, because why judge a book by its cover? Like, expand your mind to this, you know?
There is a theory of evolution of life on Earth that it originated from extraterrestrial sources, that we are aliens, that a comet brought the seeds of DNA from another solar body and landed it on the Earth. It's not necessarily the most popular one, but it's not been disproven.
A lot of the time it's like, you know, what would who do? But in this instance, I want to ask, what would you do? If you were just standing there in a forest and this light shot out in there and it kind of became a button, would you touch it?
I'm so glad you asked this question, because I've been dying to talk about this. The amount of like courage these people have running into like danger, at like, I was watching and going like, look, I know this is Doctor Who and people tend to behave this way in this world, but like there were so many moments where I was like, nope, wouldn't do that, wouldn't do that.
I don't know. I find a throbbing, luminous button kind of irresistible. It's like a big red button.
I don't know if I would have touched it with my finger.
I know.
I probably would have gotten a stick and
Yeah,
been like,
I definitely thought a stick.
So final thoughts, how would you rate this episode?
oh, I give it an A++. I'm just so excited for Jodie Whittaker and can't wait to see what she does.
I would have to say the same. I give it I give it 3 A's and 2 hearts. I thought it was an amazing episode, and I'm so excited for this season.
I give it 5 stars and 2 TARDISes. Is it TARDI?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, thank you so much for joining us as we shared this first glimpse of a whole new universe to explore. Now, keep sharing your thoughts at #DoctorWho, and I'm so happy to know that the world of Whovians has you in it. We'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.